and then read the chat, like, or just check if it's working at the same time. Always, always there.
Yep, we're live right there. It says upcoming.
Yeah, I see
Yeah,
live.
it's
Oh yeah, I
live.
see it. It's live.
Yeah, all right, bet. Let me post a link to it really fast on the socials. I got you. And we're good to go.
There
I
we
think our
go.
buddy Khaled might join because he wanted to join too. He helps us with our videos too. If it makes
Nah, tell him come through, man.
he's
Another
a
nerdy American.
delusional United fan too, so y'all can bond together, right?
Delusional. Nah, 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 nah.
Y'all can
I need
join.
to know what side of the spectrum he's on. Does he like McTominay? That's the first question I'm gonna ask him. Does he
Oh,
like?
oh, thank you. Please ask him that when he starts. I want to put it on a record, him defending
Hey,
him.
'cause if he says yes, the
Let
exit
me
door's
see.
there, man. I'm cutting.
Let
It's
me
not possible.
let me call him right now just to make sure. Do, 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 do. Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm trying to join, but it's not letting me join from my phone for some reason.
Yeah, it says you have to join through your laptop because it needs like the mic and the
And tell him go through Chrome as well.
and you have to go through Google Chrome.
Okay. Let me pull the laptop up.
Your mic got the camera and a mic.
My camera does it, my computer does it, but my laptop does. So we got my laptop real quick.
Okay, but we'll wait like 5 minutes. We're live right now, so as soon as you start, we'll start with like the actually getting into the shits.
All right, I'm coming out.
Do you need me to like email the link to your laptop or?
Bro, just tell him log into Twitter through his laptop.
Oh, that's true. He can do that, and I'll send it to Twitter.
You lot go through the craziest of loops, you know. I swear down. Nah. Oh, fam, I was literally funny enough. I met so many like crazy, like, you know, the Cameroon fans. Hey,
They nuts.
hey, fan group of the day, country of the day, man. They locked off the whole city, the whole city. It was amazing. Like, okay, go to my Twitter and go look at my most recent medias. You'll see
Yeah.
they absolutely shelled it. I was so proud. Like, I was like, damn, you man are cold. They shelled it, man.
Bro, that's hard. It's my long lost brother. I hate you.
Bro, I'm recording and he just runs to me, says, "Ah," and then runs away. Like, oh, nah, the Cameroon fans are class, proper class.
Khaled, you got it pulled up?
Yeah, I got one pulled up. I'm get the link now.
Yeah. See, open it through Chrome because you can't do it. You can't do it through Safari because that shit is not gonna work at all. Also, Monty, I didn't get punched in the face. All right, my dog just scratched the fuck out of me. So
That's why you're in the dark. It makes sense.
all right, I just want to clear that up because at work
Nah,
today,
nah, nah. You got bullied. I'm gonna use that one. Hey, you got beat up.
I had 3 people at work ask me, like they saw me and they're like, how bad he hit you? I said chill. I said chill. I ain't gonna hit that bad.
That's this knuckle here as well, innit? Like that caught you there.
Relax. I didn't get caught with nothing.
That's nasty. Hey, that's crazy. Damn, I really thought you was that guy, man. Damn.
I hate you.
Damn, that's crazy.
Callie, can you hear
What's
us?
up, gentlemen? How's it going?
It was good. It was good.
I'm gonna put
Callie,
you on
you got
All right.
on the background. I don't know what it is.
Like someone's background is echoing.
Probably me.
Oh, it probably is you. Oh well, we gonna make it work.
All right, let's go, man. Let's get the show on the road.
Let's get this shit on the road. All right, man. Let me post this on the story. Gage, if you want to intro it while I do it. Look at me, man. I killed that with that
All right,
transition.
cool. I know. Yeah. Well, welcome back to our recording. I know it's been a minute. We've been busy with some stuff, but happy to be back just in time for the World Cup. And man, let's just do a roll call of where we're at right now, because I feel like we're we're all over the place right now. Ethan, you want to take it away, man? Where are we shooting from tonight?
Oh yeah, we shooting from the greatest city in America. You already know, Grapevine, Texas. We shooting at home in the vine, man.
Khaled.
Yeah, man. Sorry, I had to move a little bit. I am from Saudi Arabia, but I'm living in Texas right now, man.
Yep, and I am from San Antonio, but currently streaming in a motel in College Station, Texas. So, we're having fun out here, doing our thing, but our friend Monti today is joining us from Qatar, the place of the World Cup. So, man, there's so much I want to talk about.
What happened to
Monti.
Gage?
First off, man, welcome back.
Listen, first of all, it's a pleasure. Like, appreciate me being on this. It's been a minute. The last time I was on this, a lot of people was attacking American soccer fans for having no understanding of the game. And now we're back to, what I'm saying, repeat that. Because I want to see if you lot's education is, improved. Listen, World Cup season. World Cup starts on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, like Gage said, I'm here in Qatar. I've been here for a few days now, and honestly, there's a lot to dive into, which we will get into today for sure. But appreciate you guys having me, man.
Man, of course, man. You know you're always welcome, friend of the show, man. But I think first off, we need to talk about, man, how is it in Qatar, man? Is it your first time there?
Yes, first time. So it's not like I can have recency bias or, what I'm saying, hold memories from prior and relate them to now. Nah, I think the only other two countries in the Middle East I've gone to is Saudi Arabia and the UAE. So I've never really gone to Qatar. I've always thought Qatar is that because Qatar's the nicer place out of all the other countries in the Middle East to go to. And being here, like in person, seeing everything, the World Cup and the preparations for it, is actually like, I feel like there's a lot of injustice on both sides. And it really starts from 2011, 2010, when, there was rumors that they might get the bid for the World Cup, they might get the rights to host the World Cup. People say it's corruption. It was, if we're being totally honest, it was. But listen, I'm glad that sometimes we might need a little corruption to get some good out of it, because this is the first time a World Cup's been hosted in the Middle East. So now we have the blueprint. We saw South Africa, first African country to host. Look how great of a World Cup that was. Now let's see how Qatar do it. And for what I'm seeing right now, like, I went to the fan parks today. I went to two of the stadiums. The overall hospitality has been amazing. So listen, hopefully more to come in it.
Yeah, I mean, Ethan, I know I'm really excited to hear about how, everything is going to go. What games are you going to go to? I guess, what games are you planning on going to, and how long are you going to be in Qatar?
Okay, so I've currently got 4 confirmed games. So I'm going to all the Dutch games, the group games. And I'm going to South Korea versus Ghana because I want to watch Ghana live. I want to see how they're doing because they had the worst Africa Cup of Nations in January. Absolute horrendous showing. And they've made a lot of recruits. They signed a lot of players, which is unheard of in the international stage to that degree. Inaki Williams, you have Salisu from Southampton, a lot of
Except
class
France.
players. Huh?
Except for France. France has recruited a lot of good players.
Oh yeah. That's a. We need to go back how many decades for that one? You know what I'm saying? But anyways, I think Ghana, like, they're looking like a really good outfit, and obviously I'm trying my hardest to get the England USA game. Like I'm trying my hardest. I know there's tickets available. That's what I'm trying. And yeah, I mean, it's only a matter of time till I do, and I can't wait for that game. The day after Thanksgiving, England get to put one on you guys. This is amazing, man. You can't. The script couldn't be written any better. Like honestly.
I'm not gonna lie. One thing is really lucky that this game wasn't on Thanksgiving. Because if that game was on Thanksgiving, it's written in the stars the US was gonna win that game. It's scripted. It's scripted. Because if that game was on Thanksgiving,
What?
1-0, I promise you the US would have won.
Nah, man. I heard a story, and I have 3 Americans with me that can fact check this. So apparently, the day after Thanksgiving is like a festival of football where you have NFL, you have every sport, loads of sports, loads of things to watch on the TV. But apparently, for this World Cup, the only thing that's going to be on the TV is the England USA game. Is that correct?
Yeah. The day after.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But the thing is, it's not the day after Thanksgiving. The day of Thanksgiving is when we have all the sporting events. Like we have.
Yeah.
So I think they moved it on purpose. I'm not gonna hold you because like they wanted everybody in the U.S. to watch that game, and if they played that game during Thanksgiving, football is like so huge here, especially during Thanksgiving, that they probably would have lost a lot.
Yeah, of course.
No one would have tuned into the World Cup, which is unfortunate because it's the biggest sporting event of the next 4 years. So, like, I don't know.
It's definitely like I'm looking forward to that game. Like that's like as a neutral. Like, I'm not a neutral. Like I live in England, but like I guess I get to see things from both sides. Obviously, I study in the US. I live in England. It's very interesting to see the dynamics. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking forward to that game for sure.
Yeah, Monty, you grouped us in with the Americans, but I would just like to make it clear my loyalties are not with the U.S. men's national team. They are with the Mexican national team. Let's just make
all 3 of us have other affiliations.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot Mexico, Argentina, and Saudi Arabia. Fairs. And then
we all have a dog in the race.
We're all in the same group. All in the same group.
Yeah.
That is interesting. You guys have to do like some sort of watch along, like for sure. You guys, the fact that all 3 of you guys have your countries in the same group, that's the watch along behavior. Like we got to see that.
That would be like so toxic really fast for me because like when I tell you like I'm so toxic during Argentina games, like it's unbelievable. Like,
Argentina games? You're toxic during every game.
Facts. but if Argentina it gets to another level.
Nah, you guys need to do a watch along for sure because that I would watch that. I would watch.
I would love to see a Saudi Arabia 1-0 just so I could just hold it over for like the next 20 years.
That is, if Saudi Arabia beat Argentina, honestly, like
they might riot in the streets. I'm not gonna lie. they might riot in the streets.
Might. He said might. I don't think so. It's going to definitely be a riots in the streets. a lot of Allahu Akbars.
Okay, but hey, I will say one thing for anyone who's watching this at a later date. If you like the idea of us going live during these group stage games, I think that would be a lot of fun, Ethan, to get our reactions during Argentina versus Mexico, Argentina versus Saudi Arabia, Mexico versus Saudi Arabia. I don't know. I'm so excited for what's going to come. But Monty, I can't imagine being more excited than you, man. So I kind of want to get a little bit more into like the Qatar situation. Let's talk a little bit more about like, I guess all the stuff that we were seeing on TikTok, like you said. From what you've seen and everything, like, have you been to a World Cup before? Or is this your first World Cup too?
It's my first. This is the first time.
World Cup and in Qatar.
Yeah, first time. It's in Qatar as well. First time.
So I guess it kind of is hard to have like a base like standpoint to come from it because you've never really experienced either of these events. But Khaled, I saw you wanted to say something.
Yeah. No, I just want to say honestly, like the fact that I just want to say before you guys continue real quick. Even though I've never gone to a World Cup, I've seen how other countries have been treated prior to them getting the ceremony beginning. Basically, like the treatment that Qatar has received for me is overboard because The amount of times I hear, like, I'm not saying like the human rights violation isn't there. I'm not saying deaths haven't occurred with migrant workers building the stadiums. Cool, they could be. There's reason they've come out with statistics like the Qatari government, and they said, hey, this is the facts. Now, who you believe is on you. However, if you like countries like Australia, countries like Denmark, countries like the US changing their emblem with the LGBT thing, like I feel like it gets to a point where why are you guys overdoing it? Because 4 years ago the World Cup was in Russia. I didn't hear like we know what Russia's on. I didn't hear a single thing. And if we're talking about the immorals of countries or the immorals of Qatar, let's look at the actual countries that are actually in and will be competing at this World Cup. Half of them don't allow LGBTQ people. Like, or not half. I'll say I think it was a quarter of the statistic. A lot of them have the UK. Like, how many times have we seen corruption, poor government? We've seen all sorts. America, we just seen the abortion laws get changed and things which is crazy to hear. Everyone has their flaws, and for me, it's crazy how no one is talking about like their own flaws, and they're just looking at Qatar saying, "Oh, shame on you, shame on you." Cool, every country can change, but look at your own house first, and if it's not clean, don't damn try to clean someone else's house as well. Like it doesn't work like that.
The
That's
hypocrisy
very
has
well
been
put.
the
It's
hypocrisy
crazy.
has been there, and it's been crazy to see because, like you said, in past World Cups, they've kind of split between the politics and the football. Where in this World Cup, they're trying to mix in it together, which is weird. Because if you're criticizing them for the things that are related to football and the stadiums and the deaths in the stadiums, I understand that. But pulling all the rest of the stuff and the LGBT rights and all that other stuff that they didn't bring up, especially like you said in Russia, it's kind of just piling on, and I think it has something to do with the demographic of people that you're going to. Like it's a Middle Eastern country, so people are just like, well, they're already messed up, they're barbarians, so we have to like say like, look, these are the rights they're breaking, these are the things we're doing, and it's unfortunate to see.
I wanted to add to that, like I completely agree with you. Like I feel like it's a little bit of a double standard because it's like this is the first time, like not the first time, but it's one of the only times we see like a non-Western like nation do something like this, host a big event like this. Doesn't mean, like you said, absolutely right. It doesn't excuse them of their flaws of what they have, nor should it like what's the word I'm looking for? Nor should it like put like a curtain over it, like to hide it. Like, yes, those issues should be addressed, but let's keep it a buck. Like, y'all didn't bring this up with Russia. Y'all didn't bring this up with any of these other countries. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't mean it's not. Doesn't mean it's excused. That's not like what I think any of us are trying to say here. But let's just have like a little bit more consistency. Because let's be honest. Like, if they really gave a damn about like all this stuff, then the World Cup wouldn't be held in these type of places.
Of course, and like to even add to that as well, it's like we've we've known for nearly 10 years, close like a nice decade, that Qatar was hosting the World Cup. I didn't hear a peep in the build up 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago. Why is it when the World Cup is like a month away, everyone's doing these big videos and saying, "Oh, let's boycott the World Cup. Oh, let's." For me, I just say, yo, like I'm now seeing the standards that you guys have set. This is like you guys said, Middle Eastern country, large. It's a Muslim country. We heard. There's been. I don't know if you guys have seen. Gary Neville does. He has his own YouTube channel where he does like interviews and he does whatever. And obviously, in Muslim countries, you have the call to prayer, loud. You hear it. It's in every mosque. It's in most buildings. You hear it 5 times a day. He was trying to suggest, oh, can we turn it down for the England players? Imagine hearing that at 5 a.m. It's like, whoa, buddy. Like, who are you coming into someone's country and trying to make certain changes and amendments to suit your own benefit? Like, it doesn't make sense. And for me personally, it's like Qatar, okay, we've known for a while who should really been where does the buck lie? It's the officials. It's the FIFA officials that gave Qatar the rights. Everyone's complaining about why is the World Cup not in the summer and it's in the winter in the middle of the season. You think they didn't know this when they were exchanging votes? Come on, man. Come on.
Exactly, and like when it comes, because then that leads to a bigger discussion of like how much responsibility do the players have to be like activists. And I think in the last like 5 or 6 years, you've seen it all across the world, like athletes becoming more socially conscious, which I do think is a good thing. But at the end of the day, when I see people get on to these players about not being like outspoken, it's like, yeah, I feel like the players should have a little bit to say, but at the end of the day, this isn't this generation's of players' fault.
It's
This
not their
is
battle to fight though. It's
it's
not
the
theirs. Why? They are just there to play. There a lot of like their jobs is to play football. If you want to fight something, like if you want to fight a big cause, by all means, go do that and go ahead with that. But the buck lies, like I said, with the FIFA officials. They knew what they was doing. Like if you guys have watched the doc, they
Mhm.
wanted the World Cup to go to Qatar. The president didn't. Like a handful of them didn't. He wanted them. He wanted the World Cup to go to the US. He was disappointed on stage. Imagine you have the Qatari officials, Qatari
Yeah,
FA, the delegates, the people that was in charge of the campaign. They're holding the World Cup. You have a big sign to say 2022, the World Cup will be in Qatar, and you're disappointed. This is the FIFA president or former FIFA president. Like, and now players are now having to feel like, oh, we should bring on ourselves. I see in the comments the alcohol problem, like the alcohol consumption in the Middle East or and in this World Cup. What do you expect? It's a Muslim country. You're coming to a country to watch football, right? Okay, there's no alcohol. Okay, cool. That's not the country that the World Cup has been hosted. That's their rules. Abide by it. I can't go to
exactly.
the US. I can't go to the US. Imagine what's the legal age in you guys' country?
To drink?
21.
21, right? My country's 18. So imagine I go to the States, I'm on campus, and I have I'm 18, and I have like a massive ball, and I'm like, oh, I'm drinking. Cop stops me. Nah, you're in trouble now. I'm arrested. They don't care where I'm from. Where am I standing right now? US soil. So you abide by US rules. It's as simple as that. Larry said it perfectly. The armbands, why are we gonna wear it? Why should we wear it? We're just gonna follow. We're gonna go to a country. We're gonna follow their rules, and that's it. Don't There's no need to make it into a big deal. And like I'm sick and tired. Like okay, they're not perfect, but at the end of the day, we can go on how many World Cups where there's been fraudulent behaviors right across it. So don't now say, oh, now the World Cup's in Qatar, we should be monitoring every single. Relax. Let's take a deep breath. Let's enjoy the month of football that we have, and then we can check on Qatar's progress in a few years. That's it.
Exactly, because my whole thing is that if we're gonna do that, cool. Every World Cup after this, let's do that. And I'm quiet. Then what can anybody say? You know, is that gonna happen? I think we all know the answer to that, but it's not gonna happen. But that's an
Mm.
interesting perspective to it. You know what I mean? But what I
Aside from all
didn't.
the negative stuff,
Mhm.
aside from all the negative stuff that's going on, like how is the ambiance in Qatar since you got there? What have you seen? What have you been excited about? Have you seen any of the stadiums from afar?
So like so far, I've seen four stadiums. Like I haven't gone inside them because obviously the World Cup hasn't started yet. But like from looking from the outside, like wow, the fact that eight of the nine stadiums are newly built and the Khalifa International is hugely renovated. It's basically a different stadium. Like that's serious work. Like not too far from where I'm staying is Education City Stadium. They've built a whole new tram line. Literally, like I on my private story on Snapchat, I'm just snapping thinking like it's still in its wrappers, waiting for day one of World Cup. Like honestly, props to them. Obviously, you're in the Middle East, they have the money, they have the wealth. Go ahead and do it. If it's going to improve the standard of living in the country, a metro system will help that. Imagine not having a metro system, and now because of the World Cup, you have one. Like it's going to help a lot of people that live in this country. The
I hope
ambient,
it does because I've
yeah,
seen
honestly,
that.
honestly,
Unfortunately, in the Middle East, living in the Middle East, I have seen a lot of countries, a lot of money spend for big events like this, and then just leave
they
it
leave it.
afterwards
Yeah, 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 yeah. You're right. You're
and
right.
just
You're
let
right.
it
You're right.
rot. The infrastructure's there, but they can't use it, and no one's using it. So hopefully, they do take this as a stepping stone to build into the future instead of just having something that rusts after a few years and they leave it.
For sure, for sure, for sure. And I feel like there's gonna be pressure on them anyways because I think they announced, I think, two stadiums. Like for example, Stadium 974 that will get reconstructed. Like all the parts will get taken out, and that space
It's
will be
Lego.
used.
It's a Lego stadium.
Yeah. Basically, it's one of those, and the fact that you even have the facility for that is absolutely insane. You know, as far as the atmosphere so far leading up to the World Cup, today was one of those days where I was like, wow, like the fans are really like excited about this. Like this is like I was speaking to so like today I was recording content as well, and my camera guy, he's from India, and he was telling me this is the proudest moment that he's ever witnessed since living in Qatar. I said, why? And he's like, as an Indian and as a working class Indian, you do not have the facilities to go to Europe to watch a World Cup or go to South America to watch a World Cup. So the fact that it's on its doorstep, and a lot of South Asian people are able to visit this World Cup, whether they live in Qatar or if they're traveling in, and it's like wow, like you know what, like props to them, because now they get to have a World Cup that they enjoy, and people in the media, people on TikTok comments, or people on Twitter, they'll have their mind made up already. They're already anti Qatar from the jump. So for me, their comment and opinion doesn't matter. For me, it's all about if you're open minded and you understand that this is a different World Cup. This is a unique, once in a lifetime World Cup. Let's enjoy it and embrace it. And it's as
That,
simple as
I think you nailed it right on the head, man. It's a beautiful thing where a bunch of people just get together for the love of the sport of football, and I think that's what it should all be about. Is all of these people coming together in one place and just having a good time, man, supporting their countries. And I think we should get into these group matches a little bit. I know you were talking a little bit about some of the matches you'll be at, Monty. So let's just start with Group A and talk a little bit about what's going on there. So in Group A, we've got Qatar, Ecuador, Senegal, and the Netherlands.
we're topping that one easy. We're topping that. We're topping that. That's light work. Baby food.
I
Especially
mean,
when Monty's not there. Baby food, man. Baby food. Baby food.
So I guess Ethan, do you want to take this first? Or how are you feeling about Group A?
Well, I talked a little bit on my TikTok, but I gotta. My prediction for the group is, I think the Netherlands are gonna top the group. Even though I'm not the biggest Netherlands fan, Argentina has had some wars with the Netherlands in previous World Cups, but I do think they have a really strong squad. I do think they do have one of the better managers in the World Cup, and that goes a long way. So I think they're going to probably win the group. And then second behind them, I would have said Senegal before this started, but I think that Mane injury is really, really going to hurt them. Like, I think it's really going to hurt them, and I'm afraid it's
I agree 100%. That's exactly what I was going to say. Netherlands won. I would have said Senegal too, but without Mane, even in the squad, if he doesn't start, just having him in the squad helps. But not having him in the squad, you don't know. It could be, I don't know. It could be a sleeper move by Qatar to sneak in, but I don't think it's going to happen. It'd be nice
I think
have the host in there, but I don't think it's going to happen.
A good person that, like I respect a lot. I respect his football opinion a lot. He said one thing which absolutely had me creasing, crying on the floor. He said, you know how South Africa was the worst host in terms of performance? Like, they never won a game. They finished bottom of their group, whatever the case. I think they scored a handful of goals. He said Qatar will outshit them. So 0 wins, 0 draws, all losses, 0 goals scored. I said, damn, if they do that, that is crazy. Like, you have all of this and you outshit South Africa. Even South Africa have a moment, man. Shabalala. That's a moment.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm going to go with the Netherlands too. It would be nice to see Qatar do something just have their moment, because I feel like you're hosting the tournament. You got to have your moment. And we'll move on to Group B. This one's really interesting. We've got England, Iran, the USA, and Wales. How are we feeling about this group? And we got some interesting matchups here.
Hey, I think Wales will finish above the US. I'll be real.
I agree with him. I agree with you.
I think it's going to be England and Wales that make it out. but there is a
so
sleeper chance in Iran.
Yeah, I
Iran-
like Iran's chance more than the U.S. if we keep it, but and this is not being me anti-U.S. Like, believe me, as an American, I would love to see the U.S. do good. Like, it does not hurt me to see them do good, honestly. But I am realistic in the fact
you
that they
smell
are
like
the
a
young.
hater, man. I can smell your hate out from here, man. Don't
They are
lie.
the youngest team in the tournament, but I also think their manager is not the greatest. Like Greg Berhalter, I don't think he's the greatest. And I think the problem with the U.S. is they have a lack of like consistent goals. Like I do think their defense is very strong. Goalkeeping is good. I think the midfield is one of the stronger midfields in the tournament, not named the big nations, of course.
I was
But I
gonna
think
say,
that
where are you going with this?
no, I was gonna say something crazy, but the attack, like I don't think they have a good enough number 9 to get goals to get them out of the tournament. You know what I'm saying?
You're forgetting Iran played in the last World Cup, Spain and Portugal. So like this is a country that is used to like they're up there, you know, like in terms of battling out with a lot of big nations. So obviously that was 4 years ago. A lot can change in 4 years. They still have their striker from Porto. I think his name is Tarami. He's a bad boy striker. Like you give him an inch of space, he is putting that in the bottom corner. So I don't know, man. It's gonna be interesting. I still do think Iran will finish bottom, and I'm only saying that because I think the US will win a game. I think they'll win a game. I think the US will win a game and then draw a game. I think the game that they might draw is the Wales game because I think although I believe Wales are better than the US, I feel like you're at similar levels. Maybe bar like Bale, Ramsey, the actual squads are quite similar, like at the level. So I think
I'm
it's a
with you.
fair comparison to have.
I'm with you. I think also too this division, this group is hard to predict in the sense of like England it's like we have this saying that with the Cowboys, they're an accident waiting to happen. Like at any moment.
Nah, I don't think so. Not anymore. Not anymore. I
You
don't think so.
so?
Anymore. No. I think that so-called accident happened in 2010. Rob Green let it through his arms. That was horrible.
The greatest day in U.S. soccer history.
And you know what's crazy? You guys didn't even win. You drew. That's the crazy part. You didn't even like that's nuts. But you must celebrate that like it was a win. I will never forget that. That was crazy. But
well,
honestly, go on.
I was just gonna say I'm kind of in the same boat as Ethan in terms of where I am with the United States. I think I don't care if they win or not. I'm just kind of like I'm along for the ride. This is gonna be fun. That group is interesting though. Like you said, Wales, Iran, and the U.S. are kind of gonna be like in that battle for second. I think England walks away with the clear.
Yeah, England topped the group with
yeah,
I think they
no
will
question.
comfortably top the group.
I bid this group as one of the funnest groups to watch, probably.
Yeah.
Because of the dynamics between the teams and the countries themselves, like the rivalry that are there.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how exciting that group is in comparison to this one because this one has close ties to this group right here. We'll start with the top of the group. We got Argentina. Ethan, you'll be repping Argentina during their group games against Saudi Arabia. Khaled, you'll be repping for. And I got Mexico in the tournament also with that team. And we don't have any Polish friends. But
so I think we're saying Poland's bottom of the group, right?
Yeah, Poland is the bottom of the group. I hate to do this, man, but
I gotta have it on. Hold on.
I don't have my jersey, man. I wish I had my jersey.
Disclaimer: Saudi Arabia are finished bottom in the group. I can't lie. Hey,
that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Argentina is going to be 1, and I'm thinking Mexico 2.
Yeah.
And Lewandowski's going to be 3.
Then I'm thinking Saudi 3, maybe Poland 4.
Lewandowski and Poland. It's just I don't know, man. It doesn't flip because even at the Euros,
it doesn't usually work. But he's still probably going to be able to score a few goals against Saudi and like give him a win or something.
Stat pad. The Saudis are guaranteed win, man. That one, you don't need to watch it.
Okay. Look, I conceded bottom of the group, but that's just disrespectful. Come on, man.
My thing with Poland
We're scrappy. We're scrappy. We can do something. We don't know what we can do, but we can do something.
What's up,
We'll give someone an injury at least.
That one smells. That
No,
one.
Ethan, I was gonna say I think we can all agree, Monty and Khaled, that Argentina is the favorite to win this group. So Ethan, as you know, the representative of Argentina in this live chat right now, how do you feel about the rest of the
Is
group?
1% of Argentina. But go ahead.
But let's be honest, I'm probably like 90% of the black population if we keep it in a butt. But no, honestly, I'm not to be disrespectful. I'm not too worried about this group. Like this is the most confident I've ever been in an Argentina group in my lifetime, and I've been there in 2014, and how pessimistic I am, and watch Messi drag us to the final. And I think this one, even though he's not as good as he was then, I think our squad is just loaded. Like, I do think I think we have probably one of the better managers. I think probably top 3 in the tournament in Scaloni. I think minus Luis Enrique and Hansi Flick, I think we probably got the best manager. Not named those two. And I just like the space we are.
And I think there's a stat of no country has ever won a World Cup with a manager that wasn't from that country. And you guys have someone who's Argentinian for Argentina. So
first time in a minute.
You got that stat for you at least.
Yeah. No, but I like where we're at. I think the biggest thing for Argentina and how far they'll go in this tournament, it'll be decided in this next group that we're going to talk about. This could make or break how well Argentina does. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we'll get to Group D right now. But Ethan, who do you think comes out with the second spot in that Group C tournament?
I think Poland. I think Argentina 1, Poland 2. Only because I think this is Mexico's probably worst team I've seen in a very long time. Like this Mexico
is a
team.
very bad Mexico.
But Mexico's a World Cup team, though. Like
they are.
They always step out in the World Cup.
You can rely on them in the World Cup.
No, they can get an upset. It's not gonna happen against us, but they can get an upset. But I just think like with all the drama surrounding Tata and like Chicharito.
Do a watch along. I swear, all this talking. Click this and just do the watch
and then just add it right out. I'm gonna be sick. I'm not editing that video. That could be somebody else. I'm not editing that one. But no, I think Poland. You're right. Like Lewandowski, like it doesn't really click as much as it should for Poland. But I just think like the other two teams are just not very good. I think he'll be enough, especially even though I can see Mexico making it. I wouldn't be surprised, but I do think Lewandowski they'll figure it out at least for 2 games.
You know, I've only ever watched Ochoa play in the World Cup. I swear I've never seen him play club football, you know. I've never seen him club football. It's crazy.
And he always shows up, though. He always shows up.
Yeah, he's so good. I'm thinking, why doesn't no one from Europe sign him?
Bro, we live in like Texas, and he is literally it's literally Messi, Ronaldo, and Ochoa. I'm being so for real. Like they worship Ochoa here. Like they worship.
We love Ochoa. Ochoa is.
I love Ochoa, man. He's amazing.
He is so good.
I've never seen him play club football in my life. I'm thinking, this guy's just a World Cup goalkeeper. Like, what club does he play for? Like, this is crazy.
Be honest, who's a better World Cup goalkeeper, him or Keylor Navas?
Ooh, I'd still have to say Ochoa. I can't lie.
Ochoa has the legacy.
Yeah, Ochoa has a legacy. I can't lie. Navas has the shootout, like the shootout.
The penalty shootout.
Yeah,
and he has the run where they made it. Did they make it all the way to the quarterfinals? Costa Rica. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, now we can move on to Group D, where we've got France, Australia, Denmark, and Tunisia. How are we feeling about this group, guys? I think there's a clear favorite, and I'm interested to hear what everyone else's second team is, because I'm kind of looking at Denmark there.
I think Tunisia might be a sleeper in that group. I think they might pull something out.
Hey man, you're really hopeful because
what are they pulling out?
Second spot maybe.
Nah, bro. I think
Denmark.
I think Denmark could win.
Well, Denmark are clear second, man.
I think Denmark they have a really good shot to win the group, because France, like we know the story of France, like no World Cup team goes back to back, even though how talented this France squad is. I do think that like they imploded in the Euros against Switzerland, and
so I think the curse will happen to them in this World Cup.
Maybe this Denmark team is really good, bro. Like I think they're
Nah,
really, really
I
good.
think I think in previous World Cups, yeah, like you always have to remember the first game of a World Cup determines how the run goes. Because if France get absolutely beat down by Australia, for example, or something bad happens, that will set the tone for the rest of their World Cup. And then, okay, you have a leg to stand on. But I feel like this is the greatest team for the World Cup curse to actually happen on. Like, if the World Cup curse actually happened to this French team, I'll be like, whoa, someone needs to investigate the juju that is going on right now because this is not safe. This France team is actually stacked, even though they have guys like Nkunku that out injured during the training sessions. You have guys like Diaby. Like, it's crazy if that happens. I swear. I don't see it happening. I still think they'll top the group and
Yeah.
Denmark will finish
So
second.
I need them to top
Ethan,
the group because the whoever comes in second place will probably play us. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't want to play France in the round of 16. Last time we played them, we gave them a classic game, but Kylian Mbappe ran wild on us, and it took us a little too late. And even though I do think we beat them if we play them, just because I think our defense is so much better than it was last World Cup. I mean, hey, we got two United fans here. Last time I checked, we got the best defender in the world, in Lissandro Martinez. So, hey, rep your man. Come on.
you got both. You got both of them.
You got me. You got me.
He's good. He's good. He's good.
You got me.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
Cal, you got something to say about this group?
yeah, I think actually Denmark does have a good squad. Like I'm thinking through it, they have really good goalkeepers. They have good midfielders. Like, and they have a good they have a good squad. So yeah, Tunisia's good in finishing. Like they're good at scoring goals and they're good at being like roughing through some games. But Denmark, I think, is just a better unit. So I'm gonna say yeah, Denmark second.
Okay. Cool. We can move on now to Group E, where we've got Spain, Costa Rica, Germany, and Japan. This is an interesting group too. I kind of see my two favorites as Spain and Germany. I'm interested to see what you guys think because I know Costa Rica and Japan can make some noise too.
Facts. I think in that whole group, I'm still not convinced with Germany. I'm so like they are so unconvincing. They literally had a friendly like last night or the night before, and they were horror. And like it took them late on for them to get the win. I'm not convinced. Like I believe one of Spain or Germany, it won't be them two going through. I think Japan will get second. I think for me, Japan you're sleeping on Japan. They are a very, very good team. And I feel like they are a team that I genuinely believe can get second place. In the expense of who? I don't know. It's either, for me, if I had to go with gut feeling, I think it will be Spain first, Japan second, Germany third, and then Costa Rica fourth. But
Yeah,
Spain
because
and Germany easily interchangeable.
these groups never go how we expect them to go. We're obviously going to get a lot of crazy games and a lot of crazy finishes. So it's just going to be interesting to see how this plays out. But I do have Spain as my favorite to win this group. I think Germany is the second for me right now, Monty. But like you said, they've struggled a little bit. I could see Japan sneaking in there, and Costa Rica, at least in the last World Cup I saw them, they were pretty good too. But Ethan, do you have any thoughts on this group?
I think Spain is the clear favorite for me. That team, the defense is a bit, but like I said, I think Luis Enrique. I think he's the best manager in the tournament. I think that attack, Ansu Fati is going to light it up. Like I'm a big Ansu Fati fan. I think he's gonna light it up, and I think he's what they've been missing. Hopefully for them, when it comes, because I feel like if they had him during the Euros, he would have been the difference between them and Italy in that semifinal game. Because in the Euros, I thought they were amazing. Like I think they were.
Yeah.
They
So
were.
did I. So did I. So did
I
I.
thought they were better than Italy, and I thought they were better than England. I just think they lack. Like they have a
They have
CIA
Morata
sleeper.
up front.
They,
That is
they have a
horrible.
CIA sleeper agent in Morata who plays for the other team. It's 12v10 every time he plays on the field. It's
Bro,
12v10.
he stinks, man. I can't
He
lie.
does
That is-
everything right except for the finish, man.
You see how
He
we
always,
started today's like show about like fraudulent behavior, corruption. That is sports washing at its finest. How many big teams for big money has that guy gone for? And no one's ever batted an eyelid. That's crazy.
No, but I think, but I do think Germany, they're more positioning themselves for the next World Cup, if that makes sense. Like I think Hansi is gonna like lay the groundwork really with this squad, even though the defense is getting older. What's his name? Musiala is him. Like Musiala is him. They still got Sane, they got Gnabry, and I think them three, like just getting the chemistry going with them three, is I think the biggest key for them because I think they'll make it out the group. I think they'll probably even make it to the quarterfinals. I just think with them it's more so next World Cup rather than this one. And it hurts me to say this because I have a lot of hate for the German national team in my heart, but I think they'll still make it through.
I don't know who you
Cal?
don't have hate for in your heart, but I do think one of the biggest heartbreaks for me is in the German squad where Royce is again not present at the World Cup. I think it's the fourth major tournament he hasn't been able to even play in because of injury and sick illness. He's he's a generational talent that's been like hurt and stopped and sick and injured. Every chance he gets to step on a stage, he's been hurt, which is unfortunate because I really like this guy. I really like watching him play, and I really like the way he plays. And it's unfortunate you don't get to see him with the squad, but I do think Germany has a good squad, and I think it's a good enough to sneak in second. But Spain is definitely with Luis Enrique and with that squad they have of like young talent and some older good players. I think Spain's going to definitely take the top, but Germany's taking second for me.
I think Enrique's biggest issue is that leaving guys like Thiago home is really might hurt him in that midfield. Because even though I do think they still got good enough midfielders. I mean, in Spain, they're always gonna have good midfielders. They still have Busquets, they still have Rodri, they still have Dani Olmo. They got great midfielders. Their whole thing is, can they finish? Like that's gonna be the answer. Can they finish their chances? That's gonna decide how far they get.
Yeah,
It's crazy how, for the first time in a World Cup squad for Germany, there's not a single Bayern Munich defender. Not a single one.
You love to see it. You love to see
Bro,
it, man.
this is crazy, man. Bayern Munich, man. What happened to your homegrown quota? Like, that team was like 90% German, and now we're seeing Canadian on one side, Moroccan on the other. We're loving it.
What Meat Mill said?
I love seeing that.
What Meat Mill said? We used to pray for times like this. Oh, you love to see it, man. I've been waiting for this day.
Speaking of Canadians, we've got Group F coming up, and we'll lead with Canada, Belgium, Morocco, and Croatia. I feel pretty good about Croatia and Belgium in this group. Interested to see what you guys think. I know you guys.
I don't feel confident about anything in this group. I don't feel
This
confident
group
about
is the
anything.
one
Like,
group
I feel
where
like
they can all finish on like 5 points, 4 points, like all of them. Like, there's that one shit group that they're all at the same level. I swear, like, it's
I wouldn't say that.
I feel like Belgium is just like, we're here. Like, we're never going to make it to the final. We're good enough. We're just never going to make it. So we're just going to kind of be here and see how far.
Honestly, they are dog shit.
Their whole thing is like, let's just give it to De Bruyne and Lukaku and see what they can do. And we'll figure it out after that.
They literally lost to Egypt the other night. Like, did you not see, like, their performances? Like, I look at Belgium, I'm like, nah, this is, like, Hazard is gone and lost it. Their defense is aging and will retire after this World Cup. You have a world-class goalkeeper. Your midfielder is Dendoncker and De Bruyne. And then you have a strike force of Lukaku.
To be fair, Lukaku always hoops for them. He always hoops for
them.
Bro,
he will score the third or fourth goal. Don't talk to me, man. He's not. Bro, he's never scoring a winner. He's never scoring an opener. He's like, bro, he is. Nah, man. For me, Belgium, cool. They might top the group. Not exciting. They're horror. They're actually horror.
They've been a team that's had so much talent for the last like maybe 8 years. They've had this like great squad that hasn't been able to do it, and I think that legacy is pulling them into like people dieting them this year again. I'd like to see them upset us and be like, oh, look, we're going to do it again, and then actually play good and actually like mesh as a team and actually be able to pull out some goals and some score lines that are not embarrassing, but you never know. Could just do it again.
The team I'm most excited to see in this group is Canada because I thought they were by far and away the best team in CONCACAF. And hopefully, like Alphonso Davies and those key guys in like Canada team are healthy enough to play because I very well could see them upsetting this group and winning it. Like I'm being so for real. Even though Croatia's still Croatia, and Belgium still has the world class players, Canada is really good, and they're in a really good form for me. That I can see them making some noise.
Me too.
All right. We'll move on to Group G, where we've got Brazil, Serbia, Switzerland, and Cameroon. We had Nolan in the live chat. Ethan, I don't know if you saw, telling us to talk about Switzerland. I feel like Brazil's the favorite for me. Just my initial look at this group. Switzerland too, maybe? I don't know. I think that's where I'm going to go. Brazil and Switzerland.
I think Brazil is
I don't know how-
definitely one of the top 3 chances to win the World Cup, like just overall,
Yeah.
because of the squad they have and like the players they have.
So it was Brazil, Switzerland, and who else? Oh, Serbia, right?
Serbia and
and
Cameroon.
Cameroon.
Mhm.
So for me, I think it's Brazil and Serbia. Like I think Switzerland got a good team, but I think they had their moment in the Euros by upsetting France. This Serbia team is like probably the best Serbian team we're ever going to witness in our lifetime. This Serbian team is very reminiscent of the Croatia team in last World Cup. This Serbia team is very, very good. Like if they weren't playing with like if Brazil wasn't like one of the favorites that they are in the same group, I would pick them to win pretty much every other group. To be honest with you, this Serbia team is so good. They're definitely a dark horse.
I know Monty turned his camera off, but Monty, do you have thoughts on this group?
I was quickly running to get my charger because I'm on 1%. But is it me, yeah, or is it always Brazil and Cameroon together all the time? Brazil and Serbia always together. Like something smells a little, you know what I'm saying, a little fishy, a little suspect. But I think this is Brazil's biggest chance since '02 to win a World Cup, and I think right now with the players they have, I think if we're talking about genuine depth, they have the biggest depth. Like you can bring on players pound for pound, and like imagine your 2 goalkeepers are Edison and Allison. Like
Yep.
this is crazy. Like imagine
Two
like
top five right there. Easy.
like that's both of them are in the top 5 keepers right now in the world,
Yeah,
and you have both of them at your disposal. It's nuts.
And then look at the forward line. Like they
Bro,
have got
they have
they
6 guys that could walk into like if you name anyone outside of the usual Neymar, Vinicius, and Rodrigo,
Rafinha,
probably Rafinha, bro, the others can still make it. Like Martinelli, outstanding for Arsenal this season. Anthony, exciting winger. You have the
Richarlison,
likes of
reliable.
that's what I'm saying. So like they actually genuinely have depth, and
Don't they
the
have
thing that
is it
really
Gabby Jesus playing?
yes, he's also in the squad.
See?
He's also in the,
Like
like this is actually insane. Like for them to leave out Firmino, that's a bit controversial. Like for me, I think he should have gone ahead of Richarlison.
me too.
Richarlison has the opportunity to have one more World Cup in the US. Firmino doesn't at that point. So I feel like as a good gesture, like we're now talking about the 25th or the 26th man. Like Firmino was never gonna get huge minutes, but just out of respect, to select him, bring him in for vibes. But either way, they are stacked, and this is their one World Cup where I genuinely believe a South American country will win it this year, and I think they are everyone's favorite, rightly so, and they're probably mine as well.
Honestly, I think the biggest thing with them is like we know how Brazil can play and how elite they are. Like, what if they just run into a team that's like just pissed? When Brazil has an off day, they just have their best day. You know what I mean? I know that's kind of really vague to say, and that can apply to any team. But you get what I'm saying? Like, they just run into one of those teams, like these uber defensive
I
teams. With
think
like,
I think for that to happen, they have to come across a team that is like the same way Germany did the 7-1. Like you have to come against a team that is literally basically perfect. So like you like a team that is not only that technically great, but is also very resilient because Brazil will attack and they will leave a lot of gaps open up like when they are in possession of the ball, and a lot of times when they are counted and there's transitions there to be taken, a lot of the times teams don't have the quality to really take advantage. And I think for right now, like I'm looking at this World Cup, what team really can do that on Brazil's bracket? Not a whole lot. So it bodes them well for them to have a successful World Cup. To be fair,
Yeah, I think their biggest weakness also too is their fullbacks. Danny Alves.
They have old defenders just in general. They have like 3 or 4 people who are either 29 or above in their defense in that squad. The defense is really old, so you don't know if it's gonna affect the team in a negative way or just be a lot of experience and affect it in a good way. Because they're quality players, but they're older.
My whole thing is if you still trying to play Alex, I think Alexandro's still on the squad. Like Alexandro and Danny Alves in a World Cup in 2022.
and Alex Tellez as well.
Alex Tellez,
Alexandro, Danilo, Thiago Silva,
Thiago Silva
Alves,
is still him, but Thiago Silva has.
These are all people who are 29 and up.
That's what I'm saying. If they run into one of them buzzsaws like France, Argentina, or even England to that extent, or even Portugal,
Anybody with pace,
that defense is gonna struggle, man. Like Thiago Silva is Thiago Silva. Don't get me wrong, but he is also 37, and he hasn't looked like the Thiago Silva we know and love this year. So like that defense is I think the biggest thing for them.
I think we can't get carried away with looking at like Brazil's backline because a lot of the time our team's even gonna get that far. You know, like sometimes all you need is, you know, it's just a steady 6 or 7 out of 10 at the back, like a Danilo, a Tellers who can just do the job for 90 minutes. They have 2 class centre backs in Thiago Silva and Marquinhos, anyways. And if there's a problem with Thiago Silva, Bremer's right there, Eden Militao's right there. Like they've got youth and they've got options there available to them. So for me, you look at Brazil, they're stacked, and teams are gonna find it very difficult to break down their midfield. They play Casemiro, Fred, they have Bruno Guimaraes, they have Paqueta, they have so many players in that midfield of actual genuine quality. It's gonna be a long day for a lot of teams in this World Cup, for sure.
Well, now let's talk a little bit about who Brazil's potential opponent will be in Group H. We've got Portugal, Ghana, Uruguay, and
this one, Ghana. Hey, I am praying. First of all, I'm going to a game in this group, South Korea, Ghana. So I can't wait to watch Ghana play live. Second of all, Ghana, I beg to God, get your revenge. Put that nail, kill them. You listen. Listen. Spain broke my hearts in 2010. But what did we do in 2014? We absolutely grabbed the big 4-4, the dotty, the strap. We put in hella artillery and absolutely sent them packing back to Spain. You know what I'm saying? Ghana should be the same. And I feel like if there's ever a team, like people are rooting Uruguay to be like underdogs, which, all right, fair point, fair enough. They've got players here or there, but if there's ever a team, you don't need that game. You don't even need to motivate the Ghanaian players. Just say, guys, it's Uruguay. That's it. It's as simple as that.
No, I feel like Ghana is definitely that they're just gonna say like, yeah, fuck the Portugal game, fuck the other game. Like this Uruguay game. That's the one we going for. Like I could care less if we make it out the group. This Uruguay game, we gonna go hell and back for it.
Most wanted number 1.
Yeah, I think so. Even though this Uruguay team is really good, bro. Like I have them as an upset. I'm picking them to win the division or win the group over Portugal. I think this Portugal team, like they're just like the manager and the players, they just don't go well enough together. Like I just think that anytime they're gonna go up against a well organized team, and I think Uruguay is one of those well organized teams, they just can't make it out of there, despite like the quality individual talent. Because Portugal has, like I said, they're up there in the top, really like 3 or 4 quality teams. They still got Ronaldo. We could talk about him for a later date. But they got Bruno Fernandes. They have Bernardo Silva, Andre Silva, Ruben Diaz, Pepe, Cancelo. They got a squad.
Leao. Come on.
Yeah, come on. Leao. Oh, bro, Leao's a hooper. Like they got a squad. Like they legit got a squad. They just got like a peon as a head coach. Like what more can they do? You know what I'm saying? So I think they're going to be up to the mercy of whoever.
Didn't he win the Euros with them?
He did not win the Euros. That Euros was the worst bro. They
He
finished
did win the
third
Euros for
in their
them,
group.
but
They finished third in their group. Third. They didn't even make it top 2.
they went to.
Like,
Didn't
they
they go
win,
to
though?
extra? They went to
Did they
extra
win?
time in damn near every
Yes.
game.
But he
Did they win?
me, yes, but he had not. I honestly, I'm not even lying to you. What tactical? Get me a game from that Euro 2016 where you could look at the gaffer's choices of players, tactical nous. What did he do, bro? He had the greatest. He had one apart from France. France bottled it first of all.
They did.
That was a bottle job. But like outside of France, bro, they had one of the best teams, like depth wise. Portugal. Like, come on now. Like Portugal they're a sleeping
There's
giant.
so many countries that have great squads that bottle it and drop it earlier in the tournament. Like we've seen Netherlands do it before. We've seen Belgium do it before. We've seen Spain do it before.
Ronaldo in your team, it's a little different.
You ain't got no excuse when you got, especially that was prime Ronaldo too.
And this is 2016 Ronaldo we're talking about. 2016 Ronaldo.
This was right after Noodle Hair Ronaldo too.
Yes, literally. This is after Cardiff 2015. After he was doing number 5. Like this is insane. Like obviously he got
and they won it. So I have to give them credit for it because we've seen Argentina do the same thing when they had a great team and a great Messi and haven't been able to do it.
He's forgetting something like what like we ain't win that shit 2 years ago. Come on, he took it to the champ. He took it to the champ.
You really count that COVID season. Like how does Copa America even work? Like, do they have it every year? What do they do?
There wasn't even a Ballon d'Or that year. There wasn't even a Ballon d'Or, so I mean, it doesn't really count, does it?
Hey, guess what? Me don't care. Don't care.
Listen,
me don't care.
The Copa America doesn't even have like a every 4 year. Bro, that shit is every 1, 2, 3, 4. It's every year, man.
You did. It's real champions over here. It's real champions over here.
Hey guys.
That's one of I honestly believe, well, let's go on a little tangent and we'll bring it back.
God.
I honestly believe AFCON is better than Copa America. And I'm going to
do this. Are we going to do this? Copa America is better than Euros, and it's not close.
No,
like, the Euros, they throw anybody in there. Lichtenberg, everybody.
No,
they throw everybody in there.
That's the qualifiers. Don't get the two mixed up.
Copa America, it don't matter. It's a war. It's a war in CONMEBOL.
Bro, have you seen the state of the infrastructure there? Please, you guys are on par, maybe even a bit below AFCON.
That's real football. That's where you play real football. You play it in
AFCON,
there.
Yeah, AFCON, 100%. 100%. You guys have two teams. You have two and then half of two teams.
Stop.
You have Brazil, you have Argentina, and then you have half of Chile and then half of Uruguay.
Stop! Why you do it? Stop! Hey, and they run it every single time. And they run it every single time.
And you've won it once.
Stop.
Hey. When you're the CONMEBOL president, Messi, sí. Copa America every year. Okay, sí, no problem.
You got a chance next year.
Yes.
And it's okay. Because who?
I've never heard of a continental competition that has Australia and Qatar as invites. Get the hell out of here, man.
We include everybody. You're forgetting something. Finalisma. You're forgetting that. Because ain't we play the champions of Europe and what we do to them? Come here. Come here, Italy. Come here.
That horror. Italy had hella injuries. That's what.
So Italy did the same thing to y'all.
At the end of the game, they started the game with Belotti up front, and they ended the game with Scamacca up front. Neither of those two guys was a heavy feature in the Euros. I don't want to hear it, bro. Stinky team. That was Italy's C team.
Going back to the point.
Italy's A team didn't want to stand on it. There's a reason why they all got hurt. They didn't want it. They didn't want it with the guy. They didn't want it with him. They saw the way they said, we'll play Argentina in Wembley. Oh yeah.
Guess what? You didn't watch that game. Guess what? You didn't watch that game. I did. So I'm more of an Argentina fan.
Oh, I forgot you watched it in person. You made me sick.
That's crazy. I watched Messi live. You haven't.
Oh no, I've seen Messi live. Don't worry.
No. I'm talking about this year. I don't care about the ancient. Relax, man. Recent times.
The present.
I'll ban it. All right, let's bring it back though. Like honestly, that group, yeah, Portugal, hey, they're stacked. It's just their managers their biggest issue, and I've, I feel like there's a part of me. You know when teams get into their huddle, yeah, all their guys are here. I said there's a part of me that says, guys, we'll do our thing. Like you see that? Ignore him.
Yeah, just
We do
yeah,
our
just
thing.
yeah.
Because
I
I feel
think
like if
that's
they
why
did,
they were able to win so much is because they did that.
if you want to play them type of games, what was the coach doing when they won it? Bro, he was standing helplessly doing nothing. Ronaldo was doing,
Yep.
come in.
That's why I gave him credit for it because he stepped out the way. He said, "Ronaldo, take the wheel."
That is crazy. Imagine your head coach. Imagine your head coach saying, "No, take the session." Oh,
To be
you
fair,
get paid
Ancelotti
millions
does
for
it
what?
every single game.
When one of the best generational players we've ever seen steps up and starts calling on energy and pulling people by the heartstrings and telling them to play, I mean,
Oh my
not a bad
God!
decision.
We give him
Listen,
we
that's
give him
what the
Ronaldo
Messi
credit
did
for
for
that
how
final.
long? So like it happens, man.
We give Ronaldo credit for the Euro final. Are we giving him credit for that?
Oh,
He did everything up till.
Hey, did you see the quotes that came out that game? It's not in your hands, it's in God's hands. Oh, guys.
So we giving him credit for that. They scored a goal when he wasn't even on the pitch. I don't want to hear it.
Okay, pause. You messy dick riding individual, relax. Yeah, relax.
I saw it. My goat was on the field.
No. We're not doing this.
He
Because you know
moved the
why?
ball with his mind.
The one,
He knuckled up like this.
the one Copa America that your dirty guy got, yeah, was when who saved him?
Di Maria.
My bad.
You damn
My
right.
bad.
You damn right.
Emilio
Di Maria saved him.
Martinez, Aston
Nah.
Villa's number one.
You right. And Di Maria saved
But I
him
don't want to
too.
hear about scrubs saving the goats. Like,
All right, we're not. Martinez. Who? All right. Who in this chat can name the guy that scored?
why are you
that goal?
stuttering so much, bro? Take your
Name
time,
the
man.
guy who started,
time.
who scored a goal in that Euro final. What's his name?
Eder.
Eder? Do you think
Yes.
is Eder better than Emiliano Martinez?
You're comparing the striker to a goalkeeper. That's
I'm just
insane.
answer
Do
the
that,
question.
Go on him.
That's-
I mean,
that's-
that's
that
all
is
you mean.
horrible.
Just answer the
That
question.
is
Just answer the
horrible.
question.
That is horrible.
Just
That is
answer the
horrible.
question. Just
That is
answer the question.
horrible.
All I know is
striker to a goalkeeper.
all I know is if Di Maria plays the final against Germany, we wrap it up expeditiously.
I'm hearing a lot of ifs. If Higuain scored that chance,
If Higuain wasn't a sleeper cell agent for Germany, we would have won that game.
a lot of ifs. But anyways,
Ethan
bringing
loves
it
his
back
ifs,
to-
man. He loves his ifs.
I lie,
Plus
and
maybes,
listen,
man.
that's why he's a Cowboys fan. It makes sense.
Yeah, it does. But
Hey,
all right,
hey,
fellas. Well,
maybe
I'm
maybe
gonna-
if the Netherlands scored their penalty kicks against us, maybe they would have beat us. Ooh.
And guess
All
what?
right, fellas. Well, I'm gonna dip. I gotta go to work tomorrow. So
How many
Work
more
and
groups
and
we
by
got
work
left?
and by work I mean I'm gonna get turned at the football game tomorrow. So it's got to be up bright and early. So
Well, if you want, we can wrap this up. Have we finished all the groups? Right, we finished them all.
Yeah, we finished all the
Yeah,
groups, basically. Yeah.
we covered
Alright,
all
then.
the groups.
Then let's get final predictions. Then let's do
Okay.
everybody's final predictions, final matchup, and the winner.
Okay. Whew. Final.
Man.
Spain, Brazil in the final.
Spain in the final.
Maybe.
Wow.
I'm gonna go where my heart tells me. I think we get a Brazil Argentina final somehow, some way, and we end this. We end this like how it's meant to be ended.
No. I'm gonna.
I think
read
it'd be
it
a
back
fairy
to-
tale ending. It'd be fun to see, but
No. Don't. Bro, one sec. We need the fairy tale introduction, the conclusion, the introduction, the overall piece, the paragraph. Piers Morgan said it brilliantly in his interview with Ronaldo. We have an Argentina-Portugal final. It's 2-2. Messi scored 2. Ronaldo scored 2. It's the 94th minute. The ball gets crossed in by Dalot. Ronaldo!
You make me
now
sick.
that would be the real fairy tale. That would be the real fairy tale. I would love to see that.
I don't
would
care.
love
You know,
to see
you know how
Hey,
Wow.
and then Monty, you turn off your PlayStation and go to bed. That's not gonna happen.
And that's how it is, just like that.
Hey, I would love Portugal to win the World Cup. I swear.
I would as well, man.
I'll pick
I
up
would as
Portuguese. I hate you.
I'll pick up Spurs, man. Fala Português, you know, obrigado.
Portuguese.
Well, man,
Man.
this
This
was
is
a
tough,
dope
man.
live.
Yeah, man.
I think-
It's been lit. Me on no
this
sleep,
is
man.
tough.
Let's go.
What?
I think I'm gonna go Argentina too, for sure. And then I'm stuck between Brazil and Spain. I think, and on the other side of the bracket, I'm gonna go with Spain.
That's not a bad pick. It's not a bad pick.
Spain.
at all.
Argentina, Spain.
There's a lot of riding for Spain. Damn.
They have a good
I
young
saw this the first time I'm hearing this. I heard one person say Spain to me, and I looked at him and said, Spain with Eric Garcia in the back. That is outrageous. Personally, that's outrageous.
Eric Garcia, I can't stand him. Oh
That
my
is
goodness.
horrible. He's a horrible centre back. Like,
But I'm not mad. I'm not mad. If I was using my head instead of my heart, I'd pick Argentina, Spain too. And Ansu Fati is gonna dead them Vinicius comparisons. Dead him.
Nah, I need a
I got
Rafa
one
Leao
question.
master.
What is your final, Monty? Say what your final is first.
I want for me Portugal Argentina. That's you have to script that. I don't care. Make it happen. Make it happen. That's my final. I swear.
Who do you think is going to be a standout player of the tournament, and who do you think should not have made their squad? For me, I want to start with Maguire should not have been in the squad, the English squad at all. Slabhead, maybe not.
So, because for me it was like, well, Maguire at least has an opportunity to be like playing in the first team. Look what he did in the Euros. He didn't start in the group stages, and then in the whole of the knockout phase, played the tournament. I know with United, he's horror, like mistake after mistake. But me personally, I would say a player that should have gone Tomori, but the issue is he wouldn't have played. So, yeah.
My whole thing with Tomori is he's not playing over. His profile is too similar to John Stones and Ben White. Even though I think Tomori deserves it, he's not better than either one of those two. So, but I think player that
I would have taken
should've-
him over Maguire.
Yeah, but like I get why he didn't. Like you need diversity in the defense. So, but if I'm going to player that shouldn't have made it, I'm gonna stick with England because I think that's probably one of the more familiar teams and probably one of the more controversial rosters. Callum Wilson and Ivan Toney should have made it ahead of him. Ivan Toney is, as far as I'm concerned, the third best striker in the Premier League. So I think
I heard rumors reasons why he didn't make it was because of some debts and some
he was
what's it
doing
called, gambling stuff that was attached to him.
he would call up the bookies.
Conspiracy? I don't know.
Nah, facts. It's facts.
Somehow they always find stuff like that when it's when the skin tone's a little darker.
Facts.
Facts. Facts as well. But that's how the cookie crumbles, isn't it? That's how the cookie crumbles.
I know Gage is about halfway about to fall asleep. Same with you, Monty. But I would like to thank all y'all for coming on the live. I know, Monty, you're late and it's a guitar and you got a whole week. You got a whole month of celebrations, really.
It's 8:30 in the morning. No sleep, guys.
Siesta time. Well, I thank you for joining, my guy. I appreciate this. After the World Cup, we need to do this again, man. We got to get a recap.
Yeah.
For sure. Anytime.
Yeah. Hey,
bro, you ready?
During the World Cup too, Monty, if you're not at the game and you're going to be at home watching it, and me and Ethan are doing a live stream, you're welcome to join us and in the shenanigans that will be occurring during these groups.
Join us from a hookah bar in Qatar.
Listen, it'll be great vibes. I'm telling you lot, for sure. Obviously, there'll be a lot of foolishness between the three of you, but I'm all for it.
For sure. Well, hey, for our viewers, thank you guys for watching. Check out Monty's content. Link in the description, all that fun stuff. You guys know at Monty5 5-star on fucking Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff. Check out our previous videos with him. Check out his content. He's gonna post a lot of stuff for Qatar. So appreciate y'all for watching.
Peace.